Thanks for joining us. Welcome. So I'm going to call the meeting to order and ask if there are any declarations of interest. Okay. So let's move to item 3 on the agenda, which is the Debenture Committee terms of reference. Any questions about that? Okay. Is the report recommendation approved then on the terms of reference?
The terms of reference are approved. I'll have questions on the main report. Thanks. I don't think I even have a vote, but
but it's good to know, though. It's good to know you approved. Okay, so that's approved. So now we'll move to item 4.1, the bylaw to authorize a $200 million debenture issue. Questions on that? Councillor Bernard, did you have questions on that?
Yes, thanks so much, Mayor. Just a few questions on it. So it's a $200 million debenture. So what will that bring the total City of Ottawa debt to with that addition?
$3.25 billion.
Sorry, I couldn't hear that.
3.25 billion.
3.25 billion?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And that seems different than okay. Thanks for that. What will the debt servicing costs be on the 3.25 billion?
$264 million.
Or 64 million. Okay. I'm just trying to figure it out because I thought, Cyril, in the budget documents that I had seen, we had, I think, a $350 million operating budget for repayments of debt servicing costs. Is that not accurate in the 2024 budget?
So just a reminder, so this debt was as part of the 2023 budget. The debt was approved through that process. And coordinating debt servicing is part of this process. So this component is really just procedural. It's all that debt is accounted for. What you see in the 2024 budget, I think we have an increase of $3 million worth of tax debt. And then the other components is all the other sources of debt. I don't have that off the top of my head, but I certainly get that for you. Is one in one of the schedules of the transmittal report.
Yeah, and I thought that number is 350, but or around there. But I would love to just get, as of 2024 budget, what our total debt would be and what those debt servicing costs would be.
I'll get that to you, Councillor.
Thanks so much. And then just finally, just on the ratio of debt, I think that's the same thing. Just an email would be fine. I know we're under the threshold that we set. Is there any items in here, like the largest items? I'm looking at Schedule A now that came along with the document, and just what's the largest item that we're approving? I think it's. I mean, there's a lot in there, but
yeah. So as I dig that up, just as a reminder, when we come forward our budget, we put debt on a lot of projects. And it can vary, right? We could, there's an option where we can put 200 million on one project if the project is big enough. We try and allocate the debt across a variety of different projects. Some have 20-year, 30-year, 40-year life to give us a little bit of flexibility in terms of how we can issue the debt based on how those projects complete. Quickly scanning Schedule A, I would say Strandhurst Drive is probably one of the bigger items. Which that's what it looks like. There's a lot of smaller components in terms of on the water main, storm sewer water. There's 10 million. There's 15 million on Strandhurst Drive.
Yeah,
so really it's a mixed bag of multiple projects.
Okay. Yeah, no, I was seeing the Strandhurst one too. I thought that might be the larger one. Okay. Thanks so much. The approval of the Lansdowne debt recently, we had a new debt authority. But not necessarily like we're only spending a portion of that to begin with. So is any new debt authority being sought for Lansdowne as part of this, or does that come at a future date?
That will be a future date, so that'll come through much, probably in several years down the road, just because Lansdowne won't really kick off till 2028 timeframe in terms of a construction perspective. So we won't be issuing any Lansdowne debt for a while. And obviously that's contingent on the next phase of council approval on the project.
Okay, thanks very much, Cyril and team. Thanks, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions?
Yeah, hi, I am hailing in from ARAC. And I don't actually have any questions, but Councillor Brown wanted to attend and he's still in the meeting. And he asked if I could state that he's concerned about issuing more debt. So I didn't know if Cyril wanted to respond to that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think debt is good, right? There's a discipline in having debt. I think what gives me a little bit of comfort is the fact that our taxation debt service ratio is at 4.1. Councils give us that limit of 7.5. The province give us 25. On the rate side of the equation, the limit is 15%. We're hovering around 12%. So I think that just allows us to deliver services that we're going to benefit for 20, 30, 40 years. If we want to go back to a really cash approach, we're going to be way behind the 8 ball in terms of what we need, right? So I think there's, like I always say, there's a strong discipline in having debt. But again, I keep reminding council and committee that at 4.1, we're really fiscally responsible with the debt we do issue. So I think that's the important context is, yes, it's a big number, but when you boil it down to the context in terms of different, the different repayment streams of funding, whether it's development charges, federal gas tax, blah, blah, blah. I think that's the context that we look at. So I'm really comfortable where we are with our debt. And this is not something that keeps me awake at night, which is a good thing.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate that answer. That's it for me.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Getz. Okay, so then on the report recommendation, is that carried?
Carried.
Okay. And then item 4.2 is the enactment of the bylaw, and Councillor Kitts, I believe you have that, do you?
I do not.
Screen right now.
Okay, we can put it on the screen for you.
Sure, thank you. Sorry. That the following bylaw of the City of Ottawa be given 3 readings and enacted by the Debenture Committee in accordance with its delegated authority. Bylaw number 2023-512, a bylaw of the City of Ottawa to authorize the borrowing upon sinking fund debentures in the principal amount of $200 million towards the cost of certain capital works of the City of Ottawa.
Okay, is that carried?
Carried.
And then we have an enactment of confirmation bylaw, which we'll put on the screen as well.
Thanks. Sorry, I'm working off one screen.
You're in 2 committees at the same time.
Yeah, double duty. That the following bylaw of the City of Ottawa be given 3 readings and enacted by the Debenture Committee in accordance with its delegated authority. Bylaw number 2023-513, a bylaw of the City of Ottawa to confirm proceedings of the Debenture Committee, a committee of the Council of the City of Ottawa at its meeting held on the 30th of November, 2023.
Okay, is that carried?
Carried.
Okay, thank you. I don't believe there are any in-camera items. Are there any inquiries or other business? Okay. Then I guess motion to adjourn.
Carried.
Okay, thank you. That's it. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Appreciate it.
See you later.
Get back to your other committee.
Yeah, I think it's ending.